Hi there. Today I have a channeled message for you about the exalted feminine. So I want to honor this call to come and do this reading today. I started getting messages earlier this week about the feminine spirit and what's being called upon for this time. But then once I started to do the channeled message and really get into it, it came out a lot different than what I was expecting, which often happens. So at first I was thinking about the exalted feminine, and I was thinking about, the classic image of the empowered woman or as a queen claiming her throne. And I was thinking about this idea about rising up to claim your power. But I think that is sort of a masculine expression of femininity. I think the idea of holding a crown or holding a position of power is a object of paternal energy. And so I was thinking about the tarot and the kings and the queens. And I thought, well, this is actually, once I started tapping into the energy and I really started to feel what was coming through with this exalted feminine energy, I started to think about the high priestess, which the high priestess is above the kings and queens, which are very much of this world. And the high priestess is attached to the spiritual realm and is attached to the mystery and to the unknown and to silence and to wisdom. And then this is where I started to feel some resonance. So going into this message about the exalted feminine, that this is a message for all. It's not just a message for women, it's a message for men and for women, that we all have wounds that need to be healed. And the exalted feminine is about nurturing and healing those wounds. It's about connecting with the mother energy, and the greatest mother is Mother Earth, and the Mother Earth has wounds, and they need to be healed and restored. So what I was tapping into is sort of a slowing down energy where breathing is really important. And it made me think of in utero, when the baby is, it's just like in the uterus with its eyes closed, just forming. That's sort of the energy that we're in right now to call upon the new earth. So it's the slowing down and that in utero, just breathing and undulating in the womb. That's kind of the energy I was picking up on. It's very watery. It's emotive, it's got the birthing energy to it. It has the feeling of the sacred womb. So in, Eastern philosophy, the yin and the yang, the yin is about just this, it's the womb space. It's the empty bowl. It's the receptacle waiting to receive. And in that space, there's absolute stillness and absolute quiet and darkness. And it's the place where anything can happen. That's why it's the seat of all creativity, because from there life bursts forth. So that's the space where we're in right now. And it feels like a wave. Like I said earlier, it kind of has that undulation of the womb. So I was really tapping into this moon, this watery like ocean wave moon energy, and it's calling us to be extremely soft and utterly gentle, and it's asking us to receive as well as to give. So then it was giving me the idea that I think I talked about in one of my videos before, where we're giving energy and receiving energy, and that's what's completing the loop. And I think, just personally speaking, in masculine and feminine aspects, it's also about being enough to, with the energy, to push out into the masculine space, making things happen, but then also to allow the time for the birthing energy and the receiving and the coming in. So it creates a whole cycle. And what's also in this reciprocity loop is relationships with other people, because you want to be giving to them but also receiving from them. not in a way of that you do something just so that you can receive, but in a way of like you're on the same page and you're working together, and that creates like a circle that can keep going, which has to do with this wave energy, which has to do with what I'm going to talk about, which is that Mother Nature is infinite. You know, I practice martial arts, and if you pull energy in from a tree, pull energy in from the ocean, you can go down to the ocean any day and the same soft energy is there, and you can pull it in and bathe in it, and it's infinite. You can just keep drawing on that energy. So Mother Nature's energy is infinite, and the energy is abundant, but it's not the same. So the energy is not the same as the resource. The resource would be like, if you keep taking water from the ocean, you can no longer enjoy the ocean, but you can go down to the ocean and as much as you want, pull the energy of the salt water in, pull the energy of the sun in, the sand, the water. But if you go down and you take a jar of water and bring it back to your house every single day, eventually the body of water will be gone. So this is really the message, is that it has to do with taking of resources from our greatest mother, which is Mother Earth. And so there was a message in there about looking to different types of power, looking to, instead of to control something and take it, to work with it in harmony and cooperation, which is the female spirit. So looking into harness rather than take. So harnessing the power of the wind, harnessing the power of the sun, harnessing the power of the water. Because what is the feminine energy is the process of regeneration and recycling to create that circle that I was talking about, to create that wave. And this is the way of the exalted feminine, because we must harness the cyclical power rather than steal and take the vitality. So we have to cooperate, and then we need to stay away from the vampiric side of things, which is to drain the life. Vampires drain the life of their victim, drink their blood, so that then they absorb and take that on. So this is basically saying we have to let go of our vampiric ways on earth and get into synchronicity, because in the synchronicity, when you can coordinate with those rhythms, coordinate with the in and the out, coordinate and find that wave, that can feed us. Like I said, it has to do with wind power, solar power, water power. So you can think about that in your own life with your own relationships, is how are you synchronizing with other people, and how are you feeding off each other's energy in a way where you're finding a rhythm and a dance together, rather than vampirically sucking what you can from that person and them vampirically sucking from you. I know that's a very harsh thing to say, but that was the message that was coming across. And we have to ask ourselves about sustainability and what creates sustainable futures, and meditate on what the ecologies of the future are, and ask why we are not in alignment with the rhythm of the earth, and how we can be in alignment with the rhythm of the earth. So again, just flowing with a rhythm, and not getting into that vampiric energy. So the thing they were saying was basically to flow with the rhythm of the drum, rather than to steal the heart of the drum. And I was seeing a lot of images about like blood flowing through the body, and about, you know, the water systems of the world, and just being in harmony. And that has to also do with a deep softening and a deep yielding to what is present, because when you can yield to what the present situation is, you can start to listen. And once you can listen, then you can find your pathway forward, and it doesn't have to be an insertion of my will upon what's happening, but it can be like I'm listening and receiving, and from listening and receiving to those messages, I understand how I need to move forward. So I think that's what's called upon us at this time. I hope that was a helpful message for somebody, and I will be doing another video on some vibrational medicine to go along with this topic, so you can look forward to that shortly. All right, thanks so much, and have a great weekend, guys. Bye.